Hello, I'm Bill LuMaye, and thank you for watching Community Matters. We hope you'll continue to watch as we discuss issues facing our community and provide you with the resources and information needed to find solutions. Today, we're discussing the popularity of the Raleigh area. Dennis Edwards and Veronica Clark of Visit Raleigh here to give us some insight. And to both of you, thank you very much for being here.
Great to be here.
You know, when I see you guys, I know winter's over with and spring is here.
Yes.
So it always puts a smile on my face. Raleigh is an amazing place. I mean, people are moving here, but beyond that, you're with Visit Raleigh, and I know you're in charge of bringing more people here to visit. And of course, let's talk a little bit about that. Who wants to first just kind of give us the basic rundown what Visit Raleigh is all about?
Sure.
Would you like to do it?
Okay. So our organization is really in charge of promoting tourism for all Wake County. And we really focus on three different areas, meetings and conventions. So we'll go out and try to attract any size of convention. It could be a corporate meeting of 30 people up to a large convention at the Raleigh Convention Center for 10,000. And so we're always out there chasing opportunities to bring people here to Raleigh for meetings and conventions. Then we also focus on youth, amateur, and collegiate sporting events. So that could be anything from baseball to soccer tournaments to NCAA or ACC championship events here in the area. So we work a lot with our venues, NC State, our Parks and Rec departments here to try to find availability, and then also try to find enough hotels for these tournaments when they come into the area. And then our big focus as well is leisure visitation. So these are just individuals that want to come here for vacations, and it could be for festivals or concerts or to visit friends and relatives, but we are always out there marketing the area, whether it be on social media, website, advertising, to let people know what there is to do here and hopefully entice them to come. We have a public relations department that spends a lot of time working with national and international media to pitch story ideas, to get articles and stories written about this area. And it could be anything on the culinary scene, to arts and culture, to outdoor activities. So we're always out there pitching story ideas because those stories don't happen overnight. It takes a lot of work to get writers involved and understand what there is to do here. And then a lot of times we'll bring them in and host them for a few days to really showcase the area.
Well, may I ask, you know, we're Raleigh. It's a beautiful area. We also have mountains. We have the ocean and the beaches, and that's just here in this state, much less the country. Is it challenging to market this area, or is it a kind of an easy sell?
Well, I wouldn't say it's not challenging at all. I mean, we've got a lot of great things to sell, but you know, we're different than other destinations, and I think particularly internationally, and I'll focus on that a little bit because we've gotten a lot of new international flights over the past year or two, and we, from an international standpoint, we do sell this area as really a gateway to Raleigh and to North Carolina, and a lot of times we'll work certainly with Visit North Carolina, but we'll partner with our partners in the Outer Banks or Asheville to really showcase all the state and not just Wake County. So internationally, we definitely partner with all of our other destinations throughout the state. Domestically, we try to keep them all here, right here in Wake County, because we think we have plenty to showcase here as well.
Well, that's important, isn't it, Veronica? I mean, when people who are watching, we talk about tourism and people coming to our area, it has an impact on all of us and in a positive way. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, it absolutely has a positive impact. It generates jobs, economic impact. I think last year we generated, the tourism economy generated around $3 billion to the local Wake County economy.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, just in 2023 alone, Bill, we had 18.5 million visitors, generated $3.2 billion and $307 million in sales tax revenues. So not only is it great for hotels, restaurants, and bars, but our retail establishments see it, Uber drivers see it. So it definitely, and the nice thing is that is all new money coming into Wake County. So that's new money coming in that certainly impacts many of our residents. And then you talk about jobs. I mean, we have over 26,000 people just in Wake County alone that are directly employed in the hospitality sector. So there's a big economic impact, job impact. The other thing we look at is we just received our 2024 tourism tax collections, which is a combination of the hotel tax and the 1% prepared food and beverage tax. We had our best year ever on record. We collected $87.4 million for tourism tax dollars. The nice thing about those dollars are directly invested back into Wake County for tourism infrastructure projects. So when you think about things like the convention center, the Lenovo Center, Wake Med Soccer Park, expansions at Museum of Art, the Natural Science Museum, Wake Med Soccer Park, Five County Stadium, marbles were all funded through these tourism tax dollars. So not only are we building infrastructure that will help attract tourism, but it also gives us as residents some outstanding amenities to take advantage of, such as the hurricanes. I mean, we wouldn't have the hurricanes here had it not been for these tourism tax dollars to build an arena.
It's amazing. I mean, that's a lot of money. Now, there's something called the People First Tourism. Who wants to tell me about that? I don't know what that is.
So People First Tourism was born out of North Carolina State University's PRTSM, Parks, Recreation, Tourism, and Sport Management degree program. And it focuses on sustainability in tourism and making sure that the tourism that comes to a place is sustainable for the people that already live there. And we work closely with them to create events that connect tourists and locals alike with makers, farmers, all sorts of local artisans and business owners in the area to have an experience that could be anything from candle making, knitting, paint and sip of the skyline in downtown Raleigh. There's all sorts of experiences on their website.
So what excites you guys the most right now? It changes every year, I'm sure, but Raleigh is a pretty cool place, and I don't know what you can tell us, what you can't tell us, but what's really exciting right now coming up?
Well, I think when we first, when we talk about events, I mean, we were really focused right now on the NCAA men's basketball tournament. We've been working and preparing for that event for probably about 8 months now. This will be the 5th time we've hosted rounds 1 and 2 at the Lenovo Center. We're expecting, we'll have 8 teams and about over 50,000 people that will be in town for that particular weekend. So there's a lot behind the scenes that we have to prepare for that event. We were creating an area called Hoops and Hops, which will be between the arena and Carter Finley Stadium, where people can, there'll be tents and televisions and beer and food where people can really enjoy and watch other games if they're not watching our particular game here as well. A lot of signage throughout the entire county, and then we really take care of the media that comes here. We have a lot of media that comes here from throughout the country, so we have receptions for them and take care of the team, athletic directors and coaches. So a lot that goes on behind the scenes. And then there's a very good chance we'll have the women's rounds 1 and 2 here that same weekend with how well NC State women's team is doing. If they're ranked in the top 16, they get to host one of the first rounds of women's basketball as well. So we're really excited about that. And quite honestly, Bill, beyond that, it's just almost literally every weekend. We have one major
before we get
event.
into the week, I'm tired just listening to this. You guys are going to be exhausted. My goodness, but exciting, isn't it? We're going to come right back, and we have a lot more to talk about. Stick around. And we're back. And today we're discussing the Raleigh area with our friends from Visit Raleigh. And boy, I'll tell you what, is this an exciting time for you this time of year, or are you just like going, I mean, you must prep for this for what? All year, I suppose.
Absolutely, yeah. Spring's a great time of the year, as you know.
Well, let's talk about that. I know we've talked about the men and women's basketball tournament, which is a huge undertaking, but there's something going on all the time in this area. Who wants to take that on?
Well, another big event that I'm really looking forward to this month is Art in Bloom at the North Carolina Museum of Art. It's a great fundraising opportunity for the museum, which, as you probably know, is free year-round to enter. However, the Art in Bloom display, where florists from all over the state come and create floral installations that emulate a certain art piece in the museum. And so tickets are on sale now. You can go and check out all these amazing art installations.
Well, we visit the museums all the time. I mean, they're outstanding, you're right. The price is great. For anybody who hasn't done it, you really ought to.
And then, Bill, we also have some big events that are really coming up in the next couple months. We mentioned NCAA, but we've got it's called, Dreamville, obviously, is coming in April, which is a big 2-day event, first week in April. We've got the soccer tournament that returns back in Cary in June. That'll be 64 teams. Literally, it's 7-on-7 soccer. These teams come from literally all over the world, and it's $1 million winner take all. And it's gained just unbelievable international exposure as well. So it's a great branding opportunity for us, but also does very well from an attendance standpoint. So, just those events alone, and then just our annual festivals. And it's every community has a festival. It seems like sometime over the weekend, from Peak Fest to Artsplosion. Brugaloo. I mean, these are all events that many of our residents and visitors can enjoy.
Now, do you ever run into an issue where hotel capacity is an issue here in Raleigh? Because it sounds like you're having a lot of people in.
Yeah, I would say certainly with the NCAA tournaments, we were in pretty good shape with the men's, but now with the women's adding on, we have to find hotels for the teams, the media, and it's really the same demands we had for the men's is now layered with the women's tournament as well. So that, I think we can accommodate them all, but that's a challenge. But I will say, like Dreamville, for example, our hotels countywide run over 96% occupancy during Dreamville. So there are some events and festivals that will put a strain on the hotels, but that's a good thing. Yes. I mean, if we can run 96% occupancy, we'll take that any day.
Let's talk about Raleigh and maybe some new developments, new businesses opening up. What about it, Veronica?
One of my most exciting new businesses that just opened is the Bend Bar and the new location of State of Beer. These are both owned by Trophy Brewing, and the new State of Beer location is really great. They've got great food, great beer on tap, great wine as well. And the Bend Bar is a very small little neighborhood bar that connects a section of Morgan Street that was a little bit deserted for a while.
Well, I know we're known for the food. So what kind of tips would you give people who are watching? What are some of the better places they ought to check out if they haven't done it? Usually it's the people right here that don't go visit these places as often as people coming into town.
Well, Raleigh just earned 4 nominations in the James Beard Foundation Awards for 2025. These are semi-finalists. So we have Christopher Pietro at Prime Barbecue over in Knightdale. If you haven't been, it's amazing. As a vegetarian, I still love it, even though I can't eat the meat. The desserts and the sides and the salads are all great. Chef Bavin over at Tamasha in North Hills. This restaurant just opened early last year or late 23, and this is a wonderful sort of elevated Indian cuisine. It's not exactly what you would expect, not your typical, takeout tikka masala, but it's elevated and it's really exciting. He's doing wonderful things over there. Scott Crawford was nominated for Outstanding Restaurateur. He just opened Crawford Brothers Steakhouse over in Fenton. And Figulina was nominated for Best New Restaurant. This filled the old Humble Pie space in downtown Raleigh.
Yeah, there's no lack of wonderful places to go eat and dine and enjoy. The other thing about this area is we're really into the green spaces, aren't we? And parks. And for people who come and visit, or the people who live here, how are we doing on that? What's it look like?
It's doing great. We're anticipating Beach Bluff County Park, which is in southern Wake County, so maybe a little off the beaten path for some folks, but that's going to be a 300-acre nature preserve that's going to open later in 2025. And then we're also getting ready to see Dix Park open the Gibson Play Plaza, which has been in the making for years now, and it's looking very exciting. I think Denny might have checked it out a little already.
Yeah, and that'll open in early May.
And finally, for this segment, top 3 attractions. I know the museums are probably number 1. I could be wrong about that. Anything else for folks who are looking for some fun and free fun?
The museums are amazing. As you know, the North Carolina Museum of History is closed for renovations right now. So a lot of folks have been looking for alternative historical experiences. In Raleigh, in downtown Raleigh, we have the City of Raleigh Museum. You can explore the North Carolina Capitol building that recently reopened this year. The General Assembly building is a beautiful architectural specimen, in my opinion. And there's lots of great free historical attractions. We've got Yates Mill County Park, the Joel Lane House and Museum.
And Bill, I'll just say USA Today just released, they've ranked the Natural Science Museum and the Museum of Art as in the top 10 museums in the country for free museums. And the Marbles Kids Museum also ranked in the top 10 for children museums. So, you know, we kind of take these museums for granted. I don't really think we realize how fabulous they are and how they're being recognized on a national level.
That's good. They deserve to be. No question about it. When we come back, we can talk a little bit about the future, what might be on tap for us here in Wake County. So stick around, because there's more to come. Welcome back. We're back with Dennis Edwards and Veronica Clark to discuss the area's best events of the year. This is usually where I say, okay, I know you have some hidden gems out there. Maybe you'll talk about them, maybe you won't. Let's find out. Veronica, how about you?
I'm a history buff, so some of my favorite hidden gems in the area are the City of Raleigh Museum and the Pope House Museum. So those are both in downtown Raleigh and wonderful historic resources, as well as just a nice, the City of Raleigh Museum has a great little gift shop too for gifts. And I did want to mention the City of Raleigh just extended the 2-hour free parking in some of the city decks. So there's never been a better time to visit downtown Raleigh.
Good.
Outside of downtown Raleigh, I really like the Howling Cow Farm, which is right near Yates Mill County Park. So you can make a day of it, see this beautiful historic mill, and then check out some cows and get some delicious ice cream.
Who would want to do that?
Right.
Check out some cows and ice cream. How about you?
For me, anytime I have visitors or friends that come from out of town, the one thing I always do is I take them to the Museum of Art and we rent bikes. And there is a fabulous trail that goes from the Museum of Art to downtown. It's called the Heart to Art Trail. And it's a great way for visitors that have never been here before to see a beautiful part of Raleigh. It'll take you through NC State's campus. You can detour through Dix Park. It's a great way to spend a half a day. And then we usually end up somewhere downtown for a beverage and lunch and then ride back. But I highly recommend that for anyone that if you have visitors in town, if you just want to do it, it's a great way to spend a half a day or a full day if you want.
I hope you're taking notes. Now, upcoming projects and maybe some updates on some of the tourist projects that you guys have been involved in.
Yeah, so we, about 2 years ago, our county and city approved funding for 4 major projects, and we were finally seeing some light at the end of the tunnel on those. The first will begin in April on the construction of a new amphitheater. We're moving the Red Hat Amphitheater across the street. It'll be a larger amphitheater, and once that that is completed, which will probably be mid-27, we'll then start construction on a new Raleigh Convention Center expansion. And that will take place where the current Red Hat Amphitheater is. So we're in the design phase now with that, and things are moving very nicely with both of those projects. We are also moving forward with a new 550-room Omni Hotel, which will be adjacent to the Convention Center in front of the Performing Arts Center. They'll start breaking ground late 25, early 26, but very excited about that project. And then, of course, I think everyone probably knows by now, we put $300 million into enhancements at the Lenovo Center. That'll be a 3-year project because obviously we can't close the Lenovo Center, but work will begin on that this year, and we're very excited about that. In addition to that, Tom Dundon, the owner of the Hurricanes, is also putting in over $1 billion worth of development around the Lenovo Center as well, and that'll start this fall. So we're very, very excited about all the new infrastructure that's coming on board that will not only help us attract new visitors, but us as residents are really going to have some terrific product at the end.
It is going to change things.
No doubt.
No question. You know, one thing we didn't really touch on, I'm only going to bring it up because I'm selfish like this, is the music festivals. And you do have some incredible names coming. I know of some of those that I'm definitely going to check out. Do you want to touch on that?
Yeah.
Who's coming to town?
Yeah, we've got a lot of
people.
We're very, very fortunate to have 4 incredible concert venues.
Yeah.
Just this spring alone, the Lenovo Center has 2 dates of Pearl Jams. They have Brooks and Dunn coming in. Coco Booth has 3 nights of Billy Strings. We've got Alison Krauss coming in just this spring alone. Red Hat Amphitheater already has 20 concerts booked. And then at the Coastal Federal Credit Union Music Park, we've got a really good lineup, including just this spring alone, Keith Urban and Luke Bryan, and there's a whole gamut of other concerts coming. So I'll tell you, between the festivals, the concerts, the greenways, there is something for everyone to do here literally any day of the week.
I got to ask you, a lot of areas have the same kind of thing going, trying to attract people. And they have a tough time of it. It sounds like Raleigh's been a great success. Now, you've been with the organization for a long time. As you look back and look at where you are today, are you surprised at all, or did you think it was inevitable?
I'm not surprised, because I think one of the things that makes this area so special is every decision that our elected officials make is all about how can we improve the quality of life. And that's what tourism's all about. If we can have great activities and great product for visitors, we all are going to reap the benefits of that. So, as long as we keep our eye on that number one goal in terms of how do we improve quality of life, tourism is going to continue to succeed, and we're also going to continue to see people moving here and corporations moving here, and it's one big circle of that everyone really enjoys and benefits from.
It's amazing. For folks who have watched but didn't take notes, how can they learn more? Maybe get a calendar of events?
Yeah,
Veronica?
They can visit our website at visitraleigh.com and find us on social media at Visit Raleigh.
Well, it's always great to see you both. Thank you so much for taking time.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Right, and thank you for watching. We hope you've enjoyed today's show. If you have any questions or you'd like to know more about the topic, you can visit our website at RaleighCW.com and myRDCTV.com. I'm Bill LuMaye. Thank you for watching Community Matters, and we'll see you next week.